You're welcome in this place. I'm lost without you. Can't do nothing without you. Oh no. And you are welcome in. You're welcome in this place. My heart says yes. My heart says yes to your will, to your way. And you are welcome in. You're welcome in this place.
Tracy, Everette, and I'm here with my co-host,
William Craig III.
Yes, indeed. And we are excited to be back again, and we're thanking you for coming back as well.
All of you from all over the world.
I was about to say
I
that.
know you were.
We got the stats, and we are being viewed by a lot of fans around the world. So we want to say a little shout out to South Africa and Nigeria and Jamaica and Russia and Thailand, and we could go on and on. Poland.
Fantastic.
I wish we could speak your language. I really do.
We're learning, though.
Yes,
we're learning.
Yes, we have committed to doing that. And you know what? You can give us a call because our telephone number is posted on the website as well. Or you can go to MentorMe411.com and send us an email. We'd love to read your greetings on our program, too.
Yes, we would.
Okay. Well, tonight we have a good show, a fulfilled show.
No, we have a fantastic show. What is it?
Yes, we do. You know what? I'm trying to be humble.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
We have a fantastic show.
My alter ego. We do have a fantastic show. And actually, this is the program where we're launching our final tenet, physical health.
Yes.
So Jamila Nairoy is going to join us, who is a master hairstylist.
She is thebomb.com diva.
Yes, she is. Oh, my gosh. Yes, she is. And she's going to be talking to us about hair loss in men and hair loss in women.
Great.
And I know that there's hair loss in children, too.
True, but they come in the male-female variety as well, right?
So, yeah, well, okay.
So they're
puberty.
covered.
Yeah, they're covered.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And hair loss in animals, too.
Oh,
okay, but she's not going to talk to us about that. But anyway, she's got a lot of information she's going to be bringing to the program, so we want you to get your pen and your paper, and we're going to give you an opportunity to do that during our break.
Or your notepads.
Or your
PDAs.
That's right. Or your digital recorders in the 21st century.
That's where we are.
Yeah, we just want you to have this information so you will know what's going on with you and you can make informed decisions about your lifestyle.
Indeed.
So, you know what, William, I did, of course, some research on the subject.
But of course you did.
Yes, I did. And Mike, if you could throw up the slide, let's just go ahead and get into this discussion about hair loss for real.
Okay, for real.
So what is hair loss? According to Mayo Clinic, and you know, they are the authority on a lot of illnesses and disease and health and things like that. Well, Mayo Clinic says hair loss or alopecia can affect the scalp or the entire body, and it can be the result of heredity, certain medications, or an underlying medical condition. Anyone, men, women, and children, can experience hair loss. But then also there's baldness. And baldness typically refers to excessive hair loss from the scalp. And I wasn't aware that there was a difference between the two.
Yeah, that is very interesting, because I would have just, pardon the expression, clumped both in the same category.
Okay, yeah. So Jamila's going to bring a whole lot of information to us. So let's get to the next slide. And we're looking at how can I detect hair loss? And so gradual thinning on the top of the head is one way of doing it. You know, men have the receding hairline, and it's interesting that it resembles the letter M when it begins to thin or fall out.
Interesting.
Okay. All right, but women, we tend to suffer from hair loss. When we part our hair, all of a sudden that part gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And there are pictures at the bottom of this slide where you can see when that happens. But I'd also like to say, too, that sometimes women can detect that hair loss when we can't wear the styles we used to wear. They just don't fall the right way. Or we're wearing braids. You know, those braids look very thin.
Or the ponytail is no longer a ponytail.
And the hairline is really gone. Okay, I've seen a few of those pics on social media. I didn't dare bring them here.
Good.
I wouldn't do that to them.
Good.
Okay. So we're also looking at a circular or patchy bald spot that can cause hair loss as well. So some people experience a smooth bald spot, often about a few inches across. And this type of hair loss usually affects just the scalp, but sometimes it also occurs in the beard and the eyebrows. And sometimes your skin may become itchy or painful before the hair falls out.
Right. Now, I also have witnessed women who especially comb their hair a lot. Guys can brush their hair a lot, and they see more and more hair coming out into the comb or into the brush. And so, although you may not see that M, or you may not see the spots, but yet you're finding more and more hair in your comb or in your brush.
And it's hard to detect if that is the everyday hair that's supposed to fall out.
That's where I'm going, exactly. So how do you tell? I'm sure we'll have some information on that as well.
I can't wait for her to get here. Oh, my gosh. So the next slide says, how can I detect hair loss continued? Well, we're looking at the sudden loosening of hair, and I think that was what you were talking about.
Okay.
There's a picture of a brush that's full of hair right there. And I mean, I hate to say, but maybe many of us are going through that now.
Okay.
Both male and female.
Right.
I mean, how much hair do we see falling down the drain after we take a shower or after we wash the hair, or it's coming out in the brush? But the loosening of the hair sometimes is caused by a physical or an emotional shock. Yeah.
Stress.
Yeah, stress.
Another word for stress.
Yeah, or someone who has gotten into an accident.
Okay.
You've seen, and maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. We can ask Jamila about this too. Sometimes there's such a shock to the system that it turns the hair white.
Wow.
And they gray prematurely.
Does that happen for real?
Yeah, well, you know what?
We'll find out. For real?
Hair loss for real. But yeah, so an emotional shock. And I would like to say maybe operations, when you come out of an operation, something that shock to the body.
Okay.
But handfuls of hair begin to fall out after that, or, when you're gently tugging and trying to style your hair, you find that it's falling out too.
Okay.
But full body hair loss is a condition and medical treatments such as, it's caused by conditions and medical treatments such as chemotherapy for cancer, which causes the body to lose hair, but eventually it grows back.
Okay, great. Which is different from people who are born with no hair at all on their body.
Well, yes. And I would think that's alopecia to some degree.
Okay.
But again, we're racking up the questions for it. Yes. Yeah. I mean, this is an interesting subject.
It is because it's something that, let's be real about it. Most of us, we want to look nice to the best of our abilities. And when our hair is not right, we have a saying, I'm having a bad hair day.
That's right.
You don't say I'm having a bad ear day, a bad leg day, but you do say I'm having a bad hair day. So it is very important to us that we look nice from the head down.
And that's why, I know maybe some of our viewers are saying, well, wait a minute, what does hair loss have to do with physical health? Oh, you're going to find out. Yeah, like I said, she understands the science. She can look at your follicles and your roots in your hair and see what's been going on in that body to tell you how it's affecting your hair and the health of the hair. So it has a whole lot to do with the physical internally as well as the physical externally.
Indeed.
Yes. But the next slide says, what are the causes of hair loss? So most people normally shed hair like we talked about. And I've been seeing the numbers vary from 50 to 100 hairs a day. But we really don't know. I mean, who's going to actually...
Well, that's just it. So I'm picturing some guy in a lab coat, keeping you overnight at a clinic. And then in the morning, they brush or comb their hair and then actually count the number of hairs.
Yeah, there's only one person I know of that counts or knows the number of hairs on my head.
Let's think. Would that be God?
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, that's a ding, 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 ding.
That was easy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, all right.
Too much fun.
But, when we're looking at this, there's a great deal of hair loss on a day-to-day. Mm-hmm. But the more we age, the more we lose as well.
Oh, no.
And again, when you go and Google hair loss or baldness in men and women, there are all kinds of images out there, and I wouldn't dare bring them here because I don't want to insult anyone.
Right.
But come on, guys. When you're combing the last strand of hair clear from the left ear to the right ear.
As the old song says, when I've gone the last mile of the way. It's time to do something else.
You got to realize, come on, embrace it. Baldness is good.
Whether it's good or not, it's you.
Yes. So look, as we age, hair tends to gradually thin.
Okay.
And you can do anything and everything possible to try and keep it healthy. You know what? We're going to ask her about those potions that are out there, too.
And here's the thing, because I got to say, my hair grows tremendously fast. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's amazing. I am amazed, really, at how fast my hair grows. And although, you talk about thinning hair as you're getting older, I don't necessarily see the thinning. I probably don't see as much of it as I'd like to.
You're not in denial?
But I don't know.
Okay.
But it is growing. It grows fast. Okay. I mean, I literally am at the point now where I got to go to the barbershop every week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hello.
But the Lord says he preserves us too. When we stand in his righteousness, we're in right standing with him, nothing fades from the body.
I'll let you talk.
I'm
being humble now.
Yeah, I can talk about that. Nothing fades from the body. And if it does, it fades with grace.
All right. I received that.
All right. So then there are hormonal factors. Mm-hmm. The most common cause of hair loss is hereditary condition called male pattern baldness and female pattern baldness. And certainly sex hormones trigger a particular pattern of permanent hair loss and can begin with hair thinning as early as puberty.
Okay.
Now, I did see some children that had hair loss. Children were suffering from hair loss.
Okay.
And there are some young men out there, and let me tell you, I can feel your pain. I've given birth to a young man, too, who is 31 years old.
Wow, you were, 16? Huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, William, I was not. No, I was not, okay? I was a very mature woman at that time.
Wow.
Well, you know what? That's a story you're going to hear later.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a good way of coming back.
Thank you.
But he had some concerns too about hair loss.
Okay.
And he tried his best, but it was coming, and it was coming fast.
All right.
And it was in his 20s.
Wow.
Yeah, it was in his 20s. Okay. And so now he's at that place where he has embraced it and he accepts it. And from time to time, he goes bald, and he is very handsome.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So young men, don't be discouraged if you see baldness beginning or hair thinning beginning. Don't run out quickly to get the next treatment and to pay thousands of dollars to help repair the loss. Let's just wait and hear what Jamila has to say about all of this. And then she's going to give you some options or some information that will cause you to think about what could possibly be going on and seek professional help to get a treatment going. Okay?
Gotcha.
All right. So the next slide has to do with other hormonal changes that occur in the body that could possibly cause hair loss, and that is imbalances as a result of pregnancy, and childbirth, and discontinuance of birth control pills, or the onset of menopause. Yeah, we don't know what's in these birth control pills, you know.
Truly.
I remember when one major pill on the market today was being advertised about 15, 20 years ago as the thing to get. And now you hear today those commercials from the lawyers saying, if you have taken this, yes, please join this class action suit.
How about that?
Yeah, so you just don't know. But pregnancy and childbirth and menopause. Menopause in older women or mature women is enough to try and get a grip on. But then you start losing that beautiful crown of glory.
Wow.
And you know, it's just a bit too much. So we'll talk to Jamila about what older women or mature women can do when it comes to the hair loss and what styles are good for them, because I can see, you know, them trying to pull them cornrows into a weave, you know, and it's not working.
Yeah, and all kinds of, you know, just because the wig is on sale doesn't mean it's for you.
That's true.
I mean, really. And everybody, it's just like everybody can't wear every style of fashion and clothing and should not. But everybody cannot wear every style of hairstyle.
Right.
So it's important to have someone to give you some guidance.
And even for those who are not going to go the weave distance and they just want to wear the wig, which is fashionable too, what do you need to do to cover your hair before you put that wig on?
And protect the rest of the hair that you do have.
That friction from that wig net could cause thinning in the hair as well.
Right.
So there's a whole lot going on with that. But we're also looking at medical conditions that could possibly cause hair loss too, and that's a thyroid problem. Thyroid glands help regulate hormone levels in your body, but if the gland isn't working properly, hair loss may result.
How about that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that is interesting, and I don't like to mention other tenants on other tenants programs, but this one, Dr. Michelle is going to address as well next month in her first segment, and I'm going to share something that when I went to have a biorhythm, you know, measured with her, what she detected in my results.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't mind sharing that with y'all. There's some things I will share and some things I will not. So, when we look at the next slide, we're looking at continued medical conditions, which is alopecia areata.
Areata, very good.
Well, thank you. I've been practicing.
Very good.
If you don't leave that bell alone. This disease occurs when the body's immune system attacks hair follicles, causing smoothness, roundish patches of hair loss, and then there are scalp infections, and the infections such as ringworm can invade the scalp and lead to it's a nasty condition. And cause the hair to fall out.
You see that a lot in children.
Yeah, and it's almost unavoidable. Particularly children that are going to school, it's unavoidable. And it doesn't matter if it's private school or public school. School is school. Children are going to mix and play. And from my understanding, you know what, we're going to do a segment on that, all these infectious diseases, because I know that some parents out there are concerned and they're worried about their children mixing and mingling, and there are all kind of political issues going on too, and so we're going to help settle our viewers in that area.
Sounds good.
But for right now, I do have a question for Miss Hairstylist, Master Hairstylist, and that is once ringworm sets in and it's treated and it disappears, will the hair truly grow back, or will you always find little patches of smooth texture, things like that in the skin? But if you take a look at that picture too, you'll see that there's the little roundness to the left of the screen that occurs in the top of the head, but also to the right of the screen, there's a beard that this gentleman is wearing, and you see little patches in the beard. And again, Google and take a look at some of these men that have beards that are losing their hair in patches like that. You know, I don't know if there's a treatment for it. I don't know if they just shave it off and go bald, or then what happens happens after that. But it does occur in the beard as well.
Okay.
So looking at some of the medications that causes hair loss, is any drugs that you're using to treat cancer, and that's the next slide, Mike, and arthritis, depression, heart disease, and high blood pressure.
Can all cause hair loss.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes. You know, and it's interesting that I don't see up here diabetes. Because diabetes is on the rise.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing, because with all the number of people who have diabetes being diagnosed, both young and old, one thing it looks like they won't have to worry about is that the medication that they're taking won't cause their hair to fall out.
You think?
I hope.
Okay, doctor. Dr. William
This
Craig
is a summary.
III.
This is a summary here.
Okay. All right. So entertainment purposes only. Okay. So we're looking at other causes of hair loss. And we want to get ready to wrap this up because I'm really anxious to talk to Jamila.
Yes.
Other causes of hair loss has to do with physical or emotional shock. And that's what we mentioned. Something suddenly and excessively happening. And that also can happen with high fever and losing weight just dramatically.
Wow. Really?
Yes. And pulling your hair constantly due to mental illness. You know, you see people twining, and some people are pinching their eyebrows and their eyelids and all kinds of stuff.
Nervous tics, they
yes,
call them sometimes.
Yes. So that creates patchy bald spots.
Interesting.
And then those things are treatable too. They are. But then there are certain hairstyles. The traction hair loss can occur if the hair is pulled too tightly into hairstyles such as pigtails and cornrows, like you mentioned.
Right, right. Now, there are certain groups of people who, when they do their cornrowing, pull the hair extremely tight.
Yes.
And you know, I pity these women. They're tears.
It's almost like they're
their facelift. Right?
For a period of time.
They should charge
like
them extra because you get a hairstyle and a facelift all in one.
Oh, very cute.
But from what I'm understanding is that is not good for the hair.
No, it's not.
So, ladies, I mean, hey, stop it. If that's the routine that you're going through just to beautify yourself, you're doing more harm than you are doing good. And I'm sure our specialist will talk to that as well.
Yes, indeed. And she's going to give alternatives too, because again, maybe you can't do the weave again, or you can't do the weave and the pulling. You have to do a regular wig or a fall or something that gives that hair a chance to recoup. But looking at the next slide, risk factors. Okay, we have family history. So if there's a relative in the family that has hair loss or suffering from baldness, there's a good chance that you might, be subject to that as well. And then, of course, poor nutrition. If you're deficient in iron and protein, and you're not eating very well, then you could be subject to hair loss and baldness because of that. But take a look at that bottom. It says hair treatments. The overuse of improper use of hair coloring products, hair straighteners, and permanent waves can leave your hair brittle and prone to breaking off at the scalp. Excessive hairstyling and hairstyles that pull your hair too tightly cause traction, alopecia. Now, I think the biggest thing in the salons today, thank you, Mike, is that that hard press that makes your hair so silky.
Is that what it does?
Yes, yeah, it does. But what goes on during that period of
time? I thought it was a form of torture. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. But men love it.
Waterboarding, and you got that hard press. I'm sorry. I digress. Go ahead.
But men love it, and right. It's a different phase that the younger group is coming in.
Now, is it the heat, or is it the tension, or is it the combination?
I think it's a combination.
Okay.
But you know what, Jamila's going to answer that question, because from my understanding, if you don't get that done correctly, you could damage your hair.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, long-term damage. Yeah. So, we gave you enough to think about. You know what? I'm sorry, Mike. There is just one more slide. I want everyone to know that the bald look on men is sexy, and the bald look on women today is the new fashion. And if you can take a look, we all remember Sean Connery and Yul Brynner. Okay. But when we were looking at all the other guys, I remember when Bruce Willis came out bald. When his hair was thinning a couple of times on Moonlighting. And then all of a sudden he stepped out a few years or a few decades later and said, "Here I am, and I accept me for who I am." And it was the sexiest thing for women to see Bruce Willis like that. And he's still sexy.
Well, the big one up there, Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Okay.
It was one of the very first to really sport the hairstyle.
Yeah, but a lot of women didn't watch the sports.
You really think so?
Well, I mean, there are some women, yes, that did watch the sport, but most women...
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you.
All right.
They like them some beefy boys running down the court.
All right, okay. But take a look at the women now, too. The women, whether they're going through treatment of some type of disease and recovery, or whether they just said, you know, to heck with this, it's coming off, and they are sporting these styles. And, you know, one day my picture is going to be up there because I said whenever I leave corporate America, a side of this is coming off.
Okay.
Right? And Jamila will attest to it. She want to put color on the other side.
Okay.
It's a new look. It's a freedom look. It's a I feel comfortable with me look.
You go with it, girl.
And I just want you to join me, William.
Now, as far as you can, I am not. For the record, bald does not look good on me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So, you know, that is our segment. Just kind of get you to think and warm up, and hopefully you've got your pen and your paper with you.
Or your electronic device.
Or your digital recorder, 21st century. So we're going to give you a chance to think about what we just talked about and kind of write down some questions, too, before Jamila comes on.
Or you can tweet and let somebody know what we're talking about.
Right.
Here. Tweet, you know, here, physical health as it relates to one's hair.
Yes, hair loss in women and in men.
Exactly. So text, tweet, email, Instagram, whatever it is you do. But let somebody know that they need to tune in to MentorMe411.com right now, and they can pick up on where we're about to go with our specialist and the expert, if you will.
Yes.
And talk more about how we can be physically healthy and whole from the top down.
So let's take a break, and I want to share a video, another hip-hop
Christian
Christian groove. Oh, and I tell you, out of all the videos, this one I may have watched 20, 30 times, and I can never get enough of this. This is the Cross Movement and House of Representatives.
Okay, we need to set some things in order today. Roll call, Earthquake, Ambassador, Tonic, True Life, The Fanatic, Cruz Cordero, Enoch. All right, gentlemen, the floor is open. Make yourselves clear. Ain't no stopping us, cause what be coming out our esophagus will knock the dust off a living sarcophagus. Dead men walking, stalking in the darkness, they be hawking, looking for those home alone, like Macaulay Culkin when they come, knocking the door be opened by my pops who says come correct or catch the flaming hots. He gets two choices to those that never heard it, either be deserted or come and get converted. Even the introverted in his presence ain't shy, but scream Jesus Christ equals Elohim and the Most High. Why go to hell when you die when Christ be given fresh breath of life like Panaka? Why be infernally nasty and mean when you can be eternally crispy and clean? And listen to the God who says forget what you heard. You rep for me, I rep for you, and that's my word. Bang!
President accounted for, pound it down from a lord. Sound the horn, spit the roar. Everybody hit the floor. If the Lord of all has given all for all, then why do most of all choose the ball and walk abroad? Living for the minute you think blink is gone. We in the clutch now. What now, kid? Come on. Everything we do has a fee. That means it has a cost. True life says choose Christ, cause Christ chose the cross.
Gospel activists, advocates of salvation, preparing for the invasion of Christ, the body snatcher, who will soon to come rapture us. A Kodak moment won't capture this miraculous event. Our final call is repentance. No moon, no star, no crescents. We give reverence to the presence of the maker of the heavens and the earth, who places first, who can match the worth of the great I am, who blows on man, turns him back into sand. God's land, the God man with the hard hand turns to ruin. The wicked and subdues them, rescues them who pursues him, renews them who tuned into the communion of the tri-union. It's no illusion, it's the Most High ruling. God and human, Jesus no man can stand next to whom all respects due. All hail Exodus.
Okay, gentlemen, we're gonna take a break. We'll reconvene in a minute. Just be ready to roll, baby.
Mike, we blaze them. The Lord,
God'll save them.
hands,
Don't raise them.
Christ,
Or praise them. No pretending.
only one Savior we're recommending.
Indeed.
Now let's proceed with the represent. Mike, we blaze them. The Lord,
God'll save them.
hands,
Don't raise them.
Christ,
Or praise them. No pretending.
only one Savior we're recommending.
Indeed.
Now let's proceed proceed with the representing. News flash is the ambassador, known for asking ya, do you know the master of the world, the one that's after ya? Had a son to die just to provide a blood bath for ya. You do the math for ya, come up with love. That's just his character. You figured the love would capture ya, cause it's spectacular. He's coming back like remakes of Dracula, just to rapture the church I clap because I know Satan's hating the fact that ya hearing of Jesus and the wonderful plan he has for ya. Some might laugh at ya, but they're headed for the wrath of ya. Can't grasp with ya, a passenger on a path with ya. Party like a bachelor, max like a Maxima. Play the Mac and back, you coined the phrase. Girl, let me rap to ya. You're always strapped down, got enemies all over Cracktown. I know the haps now, I got a similar background. Surrender kids, trust Christ, become a friend of his, and let him throw you on the team of representatives.
Jesus, be the Lord of the land, and man, he loves ya. Rejecting Christ is lethal like weapons in the hand of Danny Glover. Any other option burning in your chest that has yet to stop sin from turning into death needs to be thoroughly questioned before the firing squad. For claiming to have knowledge that's higher than God's, and for telling people these lives my dad rented. Never had limits, producing a world of bad tenants.
Urban habitats where heads be strapping gats, rapping that keep it real when they really lacking facts. About the action pack attraction that's never slacking. Black has everlasting stats on the map. Check the atlas, I attack this. Fact track with tactics that come from the theocratic palace. Like Alice, I wonder in this land if you had to understand how the blunder of man put you beneath the thunder hand. That won't slumber fam, to sling you like a rubber band down into hell for rejecting the Sunderland. The eternal son who was sent, supreme firstborn, who took the worst form of punishment. Death was performed, the curtain tore, it was published in the holy handbook that this man took for the commission of his coming attractions of gospel blockbusters, blasting his word that be sharper than box cutters. Mics, we blaze them, the Lord,
God'll save them.
hand,
Y'all raise them.
Christ,
All praise them. No pretending.
there's only one savior we're recommending.
Indeed.
Now let's proceed with the representing. Mike, we blaze them, the Lord,
God'll save them.
hand,
Y'all raise them.
Christ,
All praise them. No pretending.
only one savior we're recommending.
Indeed.
Now let's proceed with the representing.
Hey, great job, gentlemen. We're gonna shut down the house for the day. Go back to your constituents, get your thing straight. But that was great representation today. I'm sure, you know.
I love that video. I do. We represent the Most High God.
In a lot
this
of different
kingdom.
ways.
Yes, we do. Yes, exactly. I'm loving this. And as a matter of fact, someone who is sitting here who's going to help us look good in our representation.
Absolutely.
Everyone, please join us in welcoming our master hairstylist, Jamila Nero.
Hello, hello,
Welcome
hello.
to the show.
How are you?
Fantastic. We're better now that you're here.
Great. I'm over here dancing. Who was that again? That was awesome.
That was the Cross Movement and House of Representatives.
I like.
Yes,
I like.
yes. You know what? And if you like those videos too, go to MentorMe411.com and scroll over to, I believe it's More and Media, and there they all are, all of our hip-hop Christian artists. And I'm going to be loading more and more and more.
I bet you are.
But Jamila,
Yes.
now when we launched August the 24th, you were
Absolutely.
not here with us.
I was in the salon getting those babies ready
I
for
thought
school.
you were in your car. It looked like you were in your car.
No,
The
I was
picture that we had.
in the salon.
I'm teasing.
You know William. We know William.
Driving into an air, right? Okay.
But you did dial in
I
and
dialed
talk
in.
to us.
Yes.
And you all were having fun, and I really wanted to be here.
And
But,
we wanted
you
you to
know,
be here.
Yeah, y'all were
So
having a ball.
we're happy that
I'm
you're
happy
here.
to be here.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
had a lot
I'm ready
of
to have fun
questions
with you
for
guys.
All right. You know
Yeah,
what?
because this is a serious topic. That
Yes,
we're
it
gonna talk
is.
Yes,
about,
indeed.
so.
Yes, it is. And we're going to let you go for it because you heard the questions. We have a lot that
Wow.
we want to know about too. But you know
Yeah.
what? You do your thing.
Okay, well, let me first start off by saying I'm pleased to be here and thank you for having me. I've got like a host of information going around in my head. Y'all have too many powerful points that y'all have made. So maybe we'll recap on some of those and I'll jump in where I get in.
Gotcha.
But I am Jamila Nero. I am the owner of Salon Cocktails. We are located at 13801 Brandywine Road, Brandywine, Maryland.
Yes.
Yes, that's where we are. And we're doing some fabulous things. We are always, I think, in the lab. You know, whether we're coming up with some new product ideas, styling ideas, solutions for our clients. We're going to jump into the hair loss, hair thinning.
Right.
So we're doing a lot in that area. I've been a cosmetologist for over 30 years, but I'm only 27.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So a lot of experience, a lot of serving women, and having a ball. Hair is my thing.
But
I
you
love
also
it.
serve men too.
We serve men. It's really funny because our salon is connected to a barbershop, and I'm always peeking over there to see what they're doing. But originally, when I first started, I did do a lot of cutting. Men, scissor combs. I did have a lot of male clients. So, just being able to be a hairstylist that can do it all, it's important.
Right.
So, guys come in, any texture hair, women and men, we service them.
Great.
So, let's jump in. Where do y'all want to get in?
You talk to us.
It's so much information.
Tell us.
And the sad part about it is this is a serious issue because even though we can have fun while sharing this information, it changes people's lives to lose their hair.
Yes,
it
indeed.
really, oh my goodness, let me tell you why. I'll give you a personal story. In the salon, I'm always looking to find new products. And we picked up a product, I'm not going to say the name, and it was my turn to try a product. And I tried this perm, and it said it had all this great botanical blah, 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 and this oil and that oil, and I wanted my hair to be on fleek. So I tried it. Within a couple of days, I was looking like a cheetah. Now, I have never, I'm not even joking, I tied everything from bandeaus, robes, ties, anything to cover up the cheetah print. And I really was shocked.
Wow.
Again, I'm glad I tried it on myself because I instantly went into solution mode. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And yeah, people laughed, and then the people who were a part of this didn't put that same product in their hair. So I walked around like the cheetah. But that's okay. So I jumped on it, I got my hair back. So I could only imagine if that was happening and I wasn't able to fix it. Again, most people who are not cosmetologists, dermatologists, trichologists are not equipped with all the information that we are. So, of course, I recommend if anyone is having those issues to come on down and talk to me.
Yes, indeed.
And I think that it affects women just like it affects men. I think that on a pride level, you're shamed a little bit. We've got everything from color that looks like lipstick that you dot in areas where you've lost your hair, to infusion sprays where you're spraying on fibers to cover up bald spots. It's just a host of little tricks and gamuts people are using, and you don't realize that people sitting right next to you have sprayed a spot or something. So. It's a serious issue.
So do you see more women coming now with this issue?
More women coming in, younger women coming in. I think that's been one of the concerns for me. What's happening that young women are losing their hair.
Right.
The studies show that at least 50% of the women in the United States will be they'll either thin or go bald or have some level of baldness by the age of 50. But we're seeing it with 20-year-olds. We're seeing it with 19-year-olds. So again, there are different reasons, as to why someone would have thinning hair, broken hair, bald spots, such as my cheetah experience.
Okay.
So we just want to make sure that we give people the information to not.
So here, let's look at it from this standpoint, because we talked a lot about some of the reasons when you talk about hair treatment. And we say hair treatment under the umbrella of I'm going to get my hair done on Friday.
Absolutely.
And so talk to some of the audience as it relates to what some of those common treatments are that's causing this, and then what you would see as a solution.
Okay. Well, in my head, there's so many issues. Let's just start off with maybe a cosmetologist generally has to obtain a certain amount of hours before she's able to perform services on clients. Weavers and braiders don't have to go through the same process.
Okay.
So again, if you do not have an understanding of hair, the structure, you create, as you say, the facelifts. Again, we know that we want our hair tight, we want it to last, but we know at the end of the day, it's causing major issues, major bald spots, even in babies. I see mothers putting in hair extensions in their baby's hair. So again, we need to get back to, it's nothing wrong with embracing our puff, embracing our whatever it is that we have, but I think the thing that we need to be mindful of is that constant thing that you're doing to a 3-year-old. By the time she's 20, she probably will have. Oh, come on. Yeah.
So there's a price for vanity.
Yeah, there's a definite price for vanity, and I see it every day. Like some of the things I see is shocking. Even in the case where you have someone going to a salon every 2 weeks, because the thing that I'm noticing is that hairstylists are getting away from hair and scalp care.
Okay.
You know,
that's
hair
a big issue.
That is good.
In my shop is an option. If today you want it pink, tomorrow you want it blonde. If you want a boy cut, if you want 46-inch weave, you know, before I do any of those services, I make sure that the structure is sound. You know, we talk about reconstructors. When I say this to clients, they're like, what is a reconstructor? I've never heard that before.
William, what is a reconstructor? We never heard that before.
No.
It is a product that allows the hair to be strengthened. We want to strengthen the hair before we, you know, apply all that tension that you generally will get with braiding. Even the base for a weave normally is done by braiding. So, you know, being mindful of our edges, being mindful of the, you know, the nape of the neck and areas where we're pulling and tightening and all that kind of stuff. And then the result, again, is this client coming back and you see the bald spot. You see, you know, the bumps that have come up and treating it, not letting it just, you know, go by the wayside, doing something. Again, you generally won't know how something affects the client until they've called you, you know, or they come back in and you see something going on, you get on it.
Right.
Because, again, hair loss, hair thinning can eventually lead to the hair loss, you know, if you're not dealing with the situation.
So you have clients, new clients coming to you, and when they sit in your chair, what are you seeing, and what kind of conversation are you having with them?
I put on my white jacket, you know, I'm doctoring, I'm doing surgery, truthfully. Again, I think the saddest part is when a lot of these women are spending good money with hairdressers, you know, that give them the repetitive thing that's causing some of these issues, whether it's bonding with glue, glue not being properly removed. Amazing damage is done from that. Wearing glue-in tracks too long, wearing weaves too long, wearing braids too long. You know, all of the too long, you know, things we want to get our bang for our buck, but then you can take it across the line to where you're now venturing into the territory of baldness, thinning, breakage.
And so then is this baldness, the hair actually coming out and dying, or there is a recovery for this?
There's a recovery for it when you get up on it, when you address it, when you see it. You know, most of the time somebody will just cover it up and keep it going. But they really do need to get to their hairstylist or a dermatologist or someone who, you know, spends time studying hair loss. You know, and I'm noticing that, and that's the challenge I want for hairdressers to, you know, we can dress it all day long.
Right.
We can make it pretty. But if we put icing on poop, it's just icing on poop.
Right.
You know, so let's make sure there's cake underneath. Let's make sure our structure is great. That we're building a good structure. Again, giving proper moisturizers and proper reconstructors, conditioners. Yes, there's a cost for it, but at the end of the day, you know, it's beneficial.
It costs you a whole lot less, though,
absolutely,
to protect your hair versus what it's going to cost you on the backside if you don't protect your
Absolutely. We do perform non-surgical hair replacement in the salon, and again, you know, it's in the hundreds. You know, depending upon length and product that we're using, you could spend $1,200. You know, again, I don't mind taking $1,200, but. But I want to give the information as to, you know, that just being the option.
You
just
want them to be better off.
I want you to be better off in the long run.
Exactly.
But the cost isn't just a one-timer. There's a process that you're delivering for that $1,200.
Well, in some cases, you know, we have maintenancing programs, you know, where we will allow clients to come in and put a deposit down. We'll service them every 2 weeks. You know, they pay us, you know, by the end of the month. You know, of course, those are clients that we've probably been dealing with for a long time and that we trust. But we have maintenancing programs. But then you have people who will go out and buy weave hair for $1,200, you know, and then pay to have it installed.
Really?
So
is this like gold laced hair?
Basically, yeah. It's top of the line. It's, you know, cream de la creme. If you want something that's going to have a longevity that you're not going to buy over and over again, you spend that money.
So let's stick a pin right there, as the old folks would say. And it solved this for me because I've seen all kinds of stories and reports. So or if you can, does the better hair come from certain places in the world, or is that a myth? Can it come from anywhere?
Some of the better hair comes from certain places in the world. We at Salon Cocktails have our own product. It is the hair that the hair that I work with is 100% Indian Remy.
Okay.
It's moldable, it's blendable. It has kind of a memory technology that doesn't require a whole bunch of roller setting and all of that, you know.
Memory technology.
It really does. It's an amazing product. I love it.
What
and I
is
use
memory
it on
technology?
That it doesn't require for you to have to curl it every day. It kind of bounces back to the style that you wear because of the wave that's already naturally, you know, in that hair.
And this is natural hair,
this is
but it's
natural
been
hair.
conditioned or processed, for lack of better terms, in such a way that it responds
This
this
is
way.
hair that comes from one donor.
Okay.
That is cleansed, that is shampooed and, you know, conditioned.
Okay.
But it's the type of hair.
Okay.
You know, again, it's a blended texture. You know, it gives you the silk with a wave. But again, it's able to, you know, it's a product that I can use on any texture of my client's hair, and it blends well.
And so then your clients, being an African American woman, your clients are not just black females or
Absolutely
women of
not.
color.
Absolutely
Who are your
not.
clients?
My client is anyone with hair, and those who don't have it, we'll sew it. We'll glue it on. We'll get it on your head. You know, so we basically in Salon Cocktails we cover the hair texture spectrum, and that's you know, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we're still. I mean, we're at all. We're still.
So we talked about the alopecia. We talked about some of the things that cause
stressors.
the exactly.
Stress.
We talked about some of the hairstyles, and so now from a let's talk about it from the perspective of my hair is damaged.
Right.
It's thin. I don't know what to do. I've gone to 8 different people, and no one has been able to help me. They come to Jamila,
Right.
and what is Jamila going to do?
the very first thing that I do is, you know, I bring them into an area where we can talk candid. You know,
Okay.
I have in the salon an area where I work where we can get down to business. There are things that I need to know about your lifestyle, medications, anything's going on in your life. So we're getting in people's business, but that better helps us, you know, provide the solution for the equation, the issue.
Gotcha.
In a lot of cases, the one thing that I'm seeing in a broad of women that are coming in is stress. From them babies,
Doesn't matter what age,
to your
yes.
relationship, to
Yes.
job. I mean, really, it's heartbreaking when I'm looking at clients, and the first thing I can say is, what's going on at work, or what's going on in your life?
Right.
I'm,
You see
I'm
that in the
seeing
hair.
these thinning spots. I'm seeing them, you know, from you know, within a 2-week or a 1 month, you know, time period where I last saw you, I didn't see that, and now I see it. So I jump on it. And again, Salon Cocktails, what we do there is we cocktail and blend products for our client.
Right.
You know, we really do cocktail it for the individual. So no one
great.
client gets everything.
That's great.
Everybody
great,
needs something
yes.
different,
Right.
so we provide that different thing.
Right.
So it does, you know, require us to have knowledge of the hair, have product knowledge, have tool knowledge, and have some skill.
But you know, we talked a lot about women. Tell us about men. Hair loss in men.
The hair loss in men, I'm sure, is as traumatic as William said earlier, you know, for men, because you all are not doing, you know, beads and weaves and
Most of
you
us
know. Well, I'm just saying, but we are also in the lab about being able to have non-surgical hair replacements for men in our salon as well.
Okay.
My dad, you know, in particular, I see that little spot that's starting to, and he's 70.
Okay.
Good looking, gray hair. He's got a little spot. It hasn't, you know, it's not up in that M shape. It's just kind of up there in the top. I just kind of like rub it and tell him, Dad, just rub that spot a little bit. Again, stimulation. It really is important. I know that sounds funny, but, you know, when we're at work, you know, being able to just kind of massage our heads. You know, back in the day, we talked about that 100 strokes a day.
Right.
You know, the brush for some textures is not, you know, our best friend. But again, what you're
Okay.
doing when you're brushing is you're stimulating that scalp. You know, you're moving that hair the oils that's coming from your scalp down to the ends.
Okay.
Again, so we've gotten away from the brushing. We think that, we don't brush. We do a lot of combing. The type of comb is really important.
The type of brush too,
the
yes.
size, the brush. So again, getting back to men, they do a lot of brushing. I have 2 boys. They're in their 20s. I don't see any hair loss as of yet, because trust me, I'll really be in there trying to help them through. But I do see it happening in the barbershop, because again, we share a building with the barbershop. Most men are just going bald.
Okay.
So we have some amazing products coming out of the lab that we're going to share with the barbershop.
Okay.
That's going to do.
Well, we can be first partakers here on the show as well.
Absolutely.
Just to make sure, that our viewers kind of see it right before their very eyes.
Our goal is to really provide things that work.
Right.
I'm sure, men and women have closets full of things that someone said was good, or you went in the beauty supply store and you asked someone. And I always find it interesting that the people in the beauty supply stores, for the most part, are just workers.
Right.
They're not stylists.
Right.
They do not really have the information. I mean, maybe this is the promo. 7-Eleven, would you like a Kit Kat with your coffee?
Right.
They want to upsell something. But again, I spend a lot of time going to the beauty supply stores, and that's my great place for business, because I hear them asking questions, and the information that they're being given, you have to say, what? But that's when you slide over and you give your business to a girl, don't buy that. Come on down and see me. So again, I spend a lot of time at the beauty supply stores. I know people think I'm buying products, but I just want to.
Good for you.
Yes,
you're going where your target market is.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's
It's
right.
the beauty supply
That's
store.
key.
Beauty supply store, absolutely.
Wow.
So again, we're, like I said, in the lab creating these products, and we probably will use you as our model, to
She
show
has,
that this stuff really does
good.
work.
Well,
Yeah.
Jamila has some things up her sleeve. I tell her
Absolutely.
she's a $1 million baby. She is the $1 million baby.
Okay.
And it's going to launch.
Wow.
And it's
All
going
right.
to launch right here on this
Fantastic.
program.
Some
I'm
big
excited.
ideas. Some big ideas.
But you know what, Jamila, we're going to start wrapping up. You
Absolutely.
do a lot of work in the community as well.
we do.
And talk to us about what things you have done and what you want to do in the community.
What we're doing right now, currently, is we are bringing young women who are interested in this profession. Again, many moons ago, it was like hairdresser or waitress. You were dumb, you couldn't get an education, but you could do somebody's hair. Today, this is a $1 billion industry.
Right.
Yes, it is.
So, I'm encouraging young women that I'm dealing with, to go to college, sure.
Okay.
But this is it's been a great lifestyle and a great experience and a great moneymaker for me. But for the young girls, that want to I just love to do hair, go to beauty school.
Right.
This is a place where you can make that side money, and it's fun. We're getting paid to do fun stuff. So we feel like we're being paid to play. The other day I was in color all day long. Didn't like that, tried it again, and coming up with this something beautiful that I'm going to put on someone. So again, we're working with the young women in the neighborhood.
You also did something with prom.
We did. We actually went across the street from where we are. My goal was to speak with the principal and to inform him that we were across the street and that we wanted to give services to some of the young women on the principal's honor roll. And that's what we will initiate this year. Okay. We did do some free services, over at Gwen Park. But what we will do is go and talk to the principal. And this thing that we do, we hope that you'll come on out and film it, because it's going to be amazing.
Sounds
We're going
great.
to provide everything, from the hair to the makeup, to the nails, to the feet, to the limo ride. That's really what we want to be able to give those women who are academically great but maybe going through some financial stresses. So
Great.
our goal is to get out into community and to do some free stuff. And I think that will be a great way for us to market. Again, give something and you get something,
Yeah, you sat in on my R plus R equals R, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
We'll share that with you another time.
Okay.
Did we ask Jamila everything that we needed to ask
Probably
her?
not, but that's what the next month and the next month and the next month
'cause
are
she
going to
is
bring
coming
us.
back.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My
Yes.
goal is to
Indeed.
come back, each week. There's so much, information, that intellectual property up here to share with just, women and men. Little tips, things that we could do at home. The one thing I want to leave us with is, let's say scenario is that you're going to get your hair braided. The one thing that I'd like to share with women, and these things can be done at home, little concoctions that you can make at home. I use a product. I don't know if I can say this product, but it's an organic product. I generally, if I know I'm going to get my hair braided, like I have these Marleys up here, I'm not natural. I am relaxed, but I do not have any breakage since the cheetah experience. Because before I got my hair braided, I did a reconstructor. I actually added some black seed oil, coconut oil, some amila oil, and an argan oil. Mix it all up and put it in my hair and let that thing kind of seep in, you know, maybe 30 minutes. And that's really important too, not to over condition your hair. So probably 30 minutes. And the goal is that when I take these braids out, that I still have some hair. Okay. Right. And so we want to strengthen that hair before we, as they call it, the traction loss, you know, that constant tugging and pulling. So, you know, I recommend that you go to your stylist if you don't come to me and ask them, you know, what is this reconstructor? What is this deep conditioning that needs to go on before you're getting braids and weaves and all these other wonderful things that the stylist can do.
Right. So go ahead.
But you all, and we're going to talk about this next month too. You also told me that some of that breakage and hair that falls out is caused by the wrong type of square or percentage of the hair that's supposed to be done. I mean, you don't have to.
Ultimately, when our clients come in for, you know, a consult or the hair analysis, what we're looking for is the density. We're looking for, we normally section out a 1 by 1. And we want to be able to determine how many hairs is in that section.
So that's 1 inch by 1 inch.
1 inch by 1 inch. But again, that also helps us determine hair loss or hair thinning. You know, we start off with that chunk. We're looking at the hair. We're, you know, feeling the texture. And from there, we're able to design, you know, a program for that client and get them to where they're going. So we do consults. And that's the one thing that we will offer here is that anyone coming into our salon will receive that hair analysis for free.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of what I wanted to get to is everyone who's watching, I mean, those of you who are in South Africa even, seriously, you can go to MentorMe411.com, where you are watching right now, and just click on Jamila's space where she has her information and send her your questions.
Yes.
And tell her your problem. And she can help you find the solution, and you all can work it out however it works out. But the bottom line is you have a woman here with a wealth of information that she's willing to share. And she's available to you through this wonderful program, Mentor Me Memorable Moments.
Yes,
absolutely.
And so we're going to wrap up very quickly. Let me say that Jamila's going to be back again every fourth Sunday of every month. She's going to be here, and we're going to talk a little bit more about hair loss. And you got other great topics that you want to cover too.
Yeah, come with your pad and paper. You know, I'm going to be giving some tips. I'm going to be giving some cocktails, some solutions, and just covering a wide range of hair issues.
Right.
So.
And so next Sunday, we're going to have Dr. Michelle back with us again.
Okay.
Yes, okay. And so we talked about detox, and she's going to tell us how, the careful way of doing it so we don't harm ourselves.
Right.
So we want to thank you for joining us for this segment of Mentor Me Memorable Moments. Again, you can reach out to us at MentorMe411.com. And until then, have a blessed week. Be safe and be healthy.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Well, I wear my clothes like this because I can. And I wear my hair like this because I can. And I walk around like this because I can. And I do my thing like this because it's who I am. And if you expect me to give you an apology for being nothing that you're used to, go right ahead and wait. Hold your breath and concentrate. Keep holding till your face turns blue. My road ain't your road, but just I know just where I'm going. My flow ain't your flow, but just I know just how I'm flowing. I'ma do my thing. Please feel free to hate and complain. I'ma do my thing. Say what you want, but this one ain't gonna change. I'ma do my thing. I can't wear my clothes like